All right, Ms. Figueroa here. Today we're doing multi-step inequalities. So yesterday we did 1 and 2 step. Today we're going to be doing multi-step. So that means just like with our equations, where we could have had multi-steps, so a bunch of steps, we can have multi-step inequalities as well. So we're going to solve them the same way that we were doing yesterday. So I want to isolate this x. So first thing I want to do is get that constant to the other side. So it leaves me with x over 4 is less than negative 1 plus 3 is 2. And then in order to get rid of this divided by 4, I have to multiply by 4. Whatever I do on the left, I gotta do on the right. I'm going to multiply this 2 by 4 as well. We said those will cancel each other out. So we have x less than, we didn't divide by a negative, we didn't multiply by a negative, so the sign stays the same. X is less than 2 times 4, which is 8. My variable is isolated. I am done. Number 2, we've got 8x plus 1 is less than or equal to 25. So I am going to move that constant over. 8x less than 25 minus 1 is 24. And then I'm going to divide out that coefficient. And I get x is less than or equal to 24 divided by 8 is 3. So x is less than or equal to 3. On number 3, our variable is not first. So first thing I want to do is get rid of this coefficient. It is a positive, so this is positive 4. So I'm going to subtract it on both sides. I get negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 18. So now I need to get rid of this coefficient. I'm going to divide it out. Watch out though, this is negative, so my sign needs to flip. So x is now greater than or equal to negative 18 divided by negative 3 is a positive 6. And on number 4, we've got to distribute. Oh, excuse me. So we're going to distribute that 3. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 12 is 36. Less than or equal to 0. I need to isolate the x. So I'm going to get the constants over to one side. Now I have 3x less than or equal to negative 36. Just because I have a negative doesn't mean I'm flipping. I only flip when I divide or multiply by a negative. So I'm not dividing by a negative. I'm going to get rid of that coefficient. So x is less than or equal to negative 36 divided by 3 is negative 12. Number 5, we've got p's on both sides now. So we're getting a little trickier now. It's still the same process. I want all my coefficients on one side, all my constants on one side, and all of my variables on the other. So I want to get my variables all on this left side. So in order to move to the other side, we have to do the opposite operation. So I'm going to be subtracting 6p. So now all the p's are gone from the right side. Negative 10p minus 6p is negative 16p, and that is greater than negative 8. I need to isolate this p. So I'm going to divide by negative 16. That's gone. And so p is, there's a negative. P is less than negative 8 divided by negative 16 is a positive 1/2. So p is less than 1/2. Number 6, 5x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 3x minus 4. So I want to get this 3x to the other side, so I'm going to subtract it, since it's positive, from the x's. So remember, we only combine what can be combined. So 5x minus 3x is 2x. This minus 12 is still on the left side, greater than or equal to negative 4. I need to get this x by itself, so I'm going to add 12. 2x greater than or equal to negative 4 plus 12, so positive 8. Now I have my constants on one side and my variable on the other, so I can divide out that coefficient. And x, I did not divide by a negative, so the sign stays the same. Greater than or equal to 8 divided by 2 is 4. So x is greater than or equal to 4. So now number 7, we're going to distribute this 5. 5 times 3z, 5 times 3 is 15, keep the z on it. 5 times negative 3, negative 15, less than or equal to 60. Add 15 to both sides to move that constant. 15z less than or equal to 60 plus 15, 75. Divide that coefficient out. It's just a z. We did not divide by a negative, so less than or equal to 75 divided by 15, 5. So z is less than or equal to 5. Number 8, we've got 7x plus 4 less than or equal to 4 times x minus 2 plus 3x. So we've got a lot going on in this problem. I'm going to work with this right side first, since it has the most happening. So 7x plus 4 is just going to keep carrying on. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 2, negative 8. And then that plus 3x in the back. Combine my like terms. 7x plus 4 is just carrying on still. So 7x plus 4 less than or equal to 4x plus 3x is 7x. So we're combining those like terms. We got 4x minus 8 plus 3x, so that is 7x minus 8. And this is where it gets a little tricky. If I had 7 x's, $7, and I gave all $7 to you, then I have $0. So there's no more x's in this problem. So we just have 4 less than or equal to negative 8. If we ever end up where we have just numbers, we have to say, well, is this true? Is 4 less than negative 8? Well, it's not true. So whenever we have a statement that is not true, then we say this has no solution, meaning there's no number that I could plug in there that would make that work. So then on number 9, with x plus 5 less than 4x plus 3, 4 times x plus 3 divided by 2, first thing I want to do is get rid of that divided by 2. So be careful here because we're multiplying by 2 on both sides, correct? We're multiplying this entire side by 2, so we do have to distribute it. So don't just multiply the x by 2, make sure you're taking that whole side and dividing it by 2. We're going to distribute this 2 on the left, 4 on the right. We got double distribution. So 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 5 is 10, less than 4 times x is 4x, 4 times 3 is 12. So now I need to get all of my constants on one side, all of my variables on the other. So I'll move this 4x by subtracting. 2x minus 4x is negative 2x. Plus 10 is still on the left, less than 12. I'm going to move that plus 10 now. So I get negative 2x less than 12 minus 10 is 2. Divide out that coefficient. Uh-oh. I see it dividing by negative 2. So it's going to be x greater than, switches sides. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. Number 10, we might get interrupted by the bell here in a second. But on number 10, we're going to start by distributing this 9. So 9 times x, we get 9x. 9 times 3, we get 27. Less than 4 plus 8x. So I'm going to move all my x's to one side. 9x minus 8x, I have 1x. Plus 27, less than 4. I want to get that x by itself, so I'm going to subtract that constant out of there. So x is less than, we only subtracted, we didn't divide by a negative. So this sign stays the same, less than. 4 minus 27 is negative 23. Number 11. Negative 7/4 x plus 8 is greater than or equal to 16. First thing I want to do, get that constant out of there. So negative 7/4 x greater than or equal to 16 minus 8, which is 8. So now in order to get rid of a funky looking fraction, we will, didn't mean to go straight through the x there. We will multiply by the reciprocal. So that would be negative 4/7. I don't like when it does that. So negative 4/7 is what we're multiplying by on both sides. So that makes those cancel out. And now we have 8 times negative 4/7. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right number here. And that does not simplify. So we get x is, we multiplied by a negative. So this symbol has to flip. So x is less than or equal to, and that is negative 32/7. So it doesn't simplify. So remember, whenever you multiply by a negative or you divide by a negative, we multiplied by -4/7, so the sign switches sides. Now we got a couple of word problems. On a trip from Buffalo, New York to St. Augustine, Florida, a family wants to travel at least 250 miles in the first 5 hours of driving. What should their average speed be in order to meet this goal? So they want to go at least 250 miles. 250 miles, at least. Do I want to go more than 250? Or do I want to go less than 250? Well, if at least, that means the number at the bottom is 250, and I'm okay with going more than that. So my amount can be more than 250, or it could equal 250, and I'll be happy. So now on this left side, I have first 5 hours of driving, and then I need my speed. So for 5 hours, how fast, just a random variable there, how fast do I need to go? So 5m, 5 times my speed, is going to be greater than or equal to 250. And then it says to solve it, so divide by 5. And I get that my speed has to be at least 50 miles per hour. So they need to travel at least 50 miles per hour in order to drive 250 miles in their first 5 hours of driving. Number 13 says your cell phone plan costs $39.99 per month plus 15 cents for each text message you send or receive. You have at most $45 to spend on your cell phone bill. What is the maximum number of text messages that you can send or receive next month? So your cell phone plan is $39.99 plus 15 cents per text message. That amount has to be less than or equal to $45, or you've spent too much on your bill. So now I need to solve this inequality. So I'm going to subtract $39.99 from 45, and I get 0.15t less than or equal to $5.01. Then I'm going to divide out that coefficient of 0.15. So that rate for how much it's going to cost each text. And I need to send or receive less than or equal to 33.4 text messages. Could I send 0.4 of a text message? Maybe I could receive 0.4 if the whole message didn't come through. But the question asks, what is the maximum number of text messages? So if it is less than or equal to that number, then the max number of text would be 33. So I could get up to 33 text messages, and then I'm going to reach my maximum and I'm going to pay over. 14. A sales associate in a shoe store earns $325 per week plus a commission equal to 4% of her sales. This week, her goal is to earn at least $475. At least how many dollars worth of shoes must she sell to reach her goal? So she earns $325 plus 4% of the sales. And she wants that to be more than or equal to $475. So at least she wants more than that amount. But she would be okay with exactly that amount. So we're going to be solving for S. First thing I'm going to do, get rid of that constant. So I have 0.04S is greater than or equal to 475 minus 325 is 150. And then let's look at how many sales, what her total in sales would have to be. So divide 150 by 4%, $3,750 in sales. So if her sales are more than $3,750, then she's going to make that $475. So then for your homework, you're going to do this page that only has 7 problems. They're out of order, it seems. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5. This is your homework for Wednesday. Make sure that you are uploading your notes and your homework, and then we will meet back tomorrow.